no blacks allowed is what our good sis was told in Zambia, Africa. I honestly don't have the words to describe how this makes me feel.
Having a look around, we're not asking to go in or anything. You guys, I wasn't even finished asking him, and he says, of course. When I went back to my country and I went to see where my dad grew up, I went and had a look at the place. So please come through at 5:30. So 5:30 comes and there's a new guard on shift. And the new guard tells us the same thing. No blacks allowed. He used to say, you got my other friend in trouble. At this point, both my brothers are like, we're putting these guys' jobs at risk. Let's just leave. So right when we start to back up, the owner's wife comes out, hostile. Why do you come in here? What do you want? What do you need? What can we do for you? So I let her know I had been to the store and spoken to her husband, and she immediately calls him. The irony in all this is that I do understand their language and I do understand what she's saying, and it's not very nice. On the phone call, her husband tells her to let us in, and she does. Tell me a lie when they hear about our social media following, the attitude completely changes. It's like, excuse me, where was this sweet, kind, gentle spirit a couple of minutes ago when we first got here? That is when that video you guys saw came to be. You'd think it had been like that the entire time, huh? It wasn't. And that is the story of how some communities feel like, and it's so different here in America, right? It's very different because it's a melting pot. But some communities in Africa feel like every African person is beneath them, and that is not fair, and it needs to change. So if you watch this video, you know who I'm talking about. I would appreciate if you respect their privacy, but it needs to change. There needs to be some change. Don't accept people treating you any less than you are, and if you're on the other side, don't treat anyone less than they are, even if they work for you. Bye.
Hey there, hi. Marvin here once again. Yeah. I don't know how to break this down, but yeah. You know what? I never ever imagined that one day I could be talking about racism in my own native country of Zambia. I never imagined it. I just never. Now people are calling me and jumping on the bandwagon, saying, you know what? We need to address this issue of racism. When I started talking about these things, a lot of my friends told me they don't understand why I want to talk about this thing. Why do we need to be talking about racism? It's the past and things like that. Just all kinds of reasons that they gave. Now you have an incident, at least one, and this is just one that is reported. It's not even officially reported, but at least it's public, where a person who is a native of the country is told by the people who were not born there that there are no black people allowed here. It's hard to imagine that this is in Zambia. It's hard. But now people are starting to see that these people have a problem. And it's extremely likely that their problem will never go away. Now people are starting to admit that. It doesn't matter how nice you are to these people. They will always be who they are. They can tell you, I'm not racist. But when the opportunity presents itself, and by opportunity presenting itself, I mean when they feel that they need to safeguard their interests, protect their territory, then they show you who they are. But the whole point of this video for me was to say that I never, ever imagined that things like this could ever happen in that country of Zambia. And I've said before in some of the videos I've done that racism is not getting better. It's actually getting worse. And an incident like this in a country like Zambia confirms that. It confirms that it's getting worse. It's not getting any better. We've talked about a whites-only city in South Africa. And people have been taking that as a joke. And I've said before, if they can do it in one country, they can do it in every other country. Because this is how these people operate. If you give them an inch, that's the end of you. This is why people should have taken it seriously when they were building a city for white people in South Africa. The whole of Africa should have taken this seriously. But a lot of you say, it's none of my business. It's none of your business. You are the next one. When they finish taking all of that land, now they're coming for yours. I don't know what it is about us that we have to wait to be in problems for us to realize there's a problem. If it's somebody else, we think it's got nothing to do with us. For some, I don't know what makes us think that this can never happen to us. What is it that makes you think that what's happening to those people over there can't happen to you? Martin Luther King Jr. put it so perfectly. He said, injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. You can look at it from a Bible point of view if you want. Whoever is not faithful in a little thing is not faithful in much. There is no problem on earth that has nothing to do with you. There is no problem on earth that is not going to come to you. If you can't face it and deal with it, or not like it, or vent out, or talk when it's affecting someone else, then you're in problems. Because you're the next. You are next. And these people have confirmed that wherever they are, they're going to be doing the same thing. They're going to be carrying out the same agenda. The same agenda. Taking people's land. Taking things that don't belong to them. And more. I rest my case. I've been saying these things. People have been calling me names. I've been giving out warnings and warnings and warnings. These people are up to no good. They've made you a friend, you're in trouble. Now, of course, we're not saying every one of them. There's some people that have been touched by God, and they've come out a little bit differently. But by and large, the majority of these people, sad to say, don't say, I never warned you. I'll see you on the next one.